Welcome to London, England. It's arguably one of the most important cities in the entire world. So massive, so much to do and see. No way I could do it in such a short amount of time. So for this vlog episode, I'm going to show you London underground. Let's get started. First stop in checking out London's underground is the Postal system. I heard it involves a train and a museum.
This unique narrow gauge railway was designed to carry mail, not people.
It was a huge network of automated electric trains running right under central London, carrying mail between main railway stations and sorting offices much faster than along the congested streets above our heads. Construction of the railway began as far back as 1914, with the tunnels dug by hand. When the railway finally opened in 1927, it cut the journey time across London from a few hours to just 30 minutes.
Mail rail ran almost non-stop, night and day, for over 75 years until 2003.
There was no email, texting, or instant messaging. Whatever the message, it was sent through the post. So there was a lot of mail to move.
It was hard work down here, but we all thought we were part of something important. In the 80s, we had a new brand and finally some new trains. I'll tell you two things that sum up the 70s. Postcodes made life a lot easier, and strikes made life not so easy. The swinging 60s, those World Cup stamps sold out after England won. In the 50s, air travel became much more common, and so did airmail. The railway was bombed several times. This station suffered the most damage when it was hit in 1943. Amazingly, the railway was back up and running the very next day. That reflected how vital the railway had become. You could say that mail rail was the beating heart of the British postal system.
We hope you'll enjoy exploring the rest of the exhibition.
Goodbye.
This is a 90-year-old maintenance locomotive that I'm going to crawl into. Start button, let's try it. Okay, he's picking up. Check position. Oh, here we go.
As the track is powered, the train moves. The lights show its progress.
Let's go try our hand at being in a traveling post office and sort mail in a car that's moving. Starting to move. All right. That's what we were trying to do. So here's something funky. The trains go by the different towns in the UK. They didn't want to stop the trains, so they just would toss the bags in this netting. Especially if the weather's inclement. This is actually a really fun educational activity. All right, we're going to go to the next stop. It's the Postal Museum. I don't know about you guys, but I still like a letter in the mail. The mail system started with King Henry VIII. The mail was for him alone. It started 500 years ago. King Charles in 1635 appointed somebody to expand the service as a way to spy for the king. Knew there was going to be a world's first here somewhere. Queen Victoria used the penny black stamp. Let's see what that looked like. I'm going to guess that's her. There's a mail coach, but it also carried passengers in some of the more remote rural communities. There's a guy looking for a ride. Oh my goodness, okay, now I'm going to look like one of those little kids. How do I look? Do I look like a mail person?
This is Paddington Station. This is actually where the Underground originated from. 1863. Much like today, the roads were getting far too busy, far too crammed. You had, of course, horse and carts. Deliveries weren't turning up on time. It was actually starting to affect tourism. The Underground in London is the first system. Because of how they built them at the start, they basically had to dig up main roads, digging down by hand up to 10 meters deep. The priests believed we were digging into hell, and they didn't want them to do it. We'll head on to our first stop. Baker Street Station, up until the 1960s, we also used steam trains on the Underground. The black scorch marks in the ceiling, that's smoke from the steam trains. You can also see the holes to help the trains breathe. So this place would have been quite thick with steam and smog. You'd also have smoke because of coal. They were coal powered. It's relatively unchanged from what we're looking at today. You see these vestibules? There's some lights in them now, but they were designed to basically reflect the light from the gas lamps. We have just travelled this. That's the original line, 3 miles. A man or lady got off the tube and they lit a match, put their fag in. They thought the match was out and they threw it down the escalator. Now at the time, all the escalators across London were made of wood. I think within 30 minutes, the entire station was absolutely ablaze. It took the fire brigade almost 7 hours to put it out. This is why they are all now metallic. We have this inconvenient little slice of water, the Thames. How do you get over it? One of the first tunnels going under the Thames took 18 years to make because it was like no one would support it. We have some work going on here. This is what's going on underneath. Flood prevention. You excavate. This was supposedly back-breaking work. Absolutely horrendous. You have to remember also people could work up to 14-hour days. You could work a lot younger, particularly in the mines. Boys in the mines could start work at 6. Girls could start work at about 8. I'm going to go and get some air because when you've been on the underground for over half an hour, you've had the equivalent of 1 cigarette. In about the 1900s, the map looks slightly different. This, combined with the shape of the underground, is why it was called the Tube. Our next stop is Piccadilly Circus, and this is what we came for.
The central strip scrolls across the map at the same speed as the Earth's rotation. It tells the time of anywhere in the world with as much accuracy as they could muster in the late 1920s.
This is a course from World War II. Power switched off generally when the siren was announced.
They still ran the trains just at a certain time.
Yeah, they'd be down here for days at a time, sometimes even like a week. They set up schools, libraries, they did amateur dramatics, and they actually built bars as well, so people could still drink. You might be coming back up to nothing. Your house will be gone, everything. You've got to make the most of it while you're actually down there. Other people visiting. So that is, of course, Father Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
You've also got these kinds of stations. And if they look kind of space-agey, you'd be right, because they were then used for Star Wars. It's Rogue One. There's the Stormtroopers. Here we have a modern map. What I have here is a suspected map of 2040. They also intend to be completely green by 2035. There's a strategy put in place where they want to take energy the underground generates, bottle it, store it, and then pump it into people's houses for their heating. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see if it works. Hopefully it does. That does, however, on that positive note, bring us to the end of the tour.
If you're a war buff, this place is a must. It's the Churchill War Rooms. So I'm going to show you some stills, but I wanted to show you how impressive this place is. It shows you the actual war rooms. They're underneath this building because during the war, London was one of the most bombed places. They had to hide, and they did it here. Conditions were less than ideal. Low ceilings, narrow corridors. Some preferred to be above ground and take their chances. They would rely on signs like this to tell them what it was like outside. The war rooms opened in August of 1939, about a week before the war broke out. October of 1940, Churchill approved of the installation of a thick concrete wall. Even then, the Prime Minister secretly knew it was still vulnerable to an attack above. As time wore on, more and more staff would not just work, but also sleep here. Eventually, there were as many as 500 who worked here. Hours were long. Churchill reportedly worked 18-hour days, including weekends. The war rooms were operational 24/7. On August 15, 1945, it was finally closed. After the war, the caretaker started giving tours of the compound before the place opened as a museum in 1984. The war rooms also include wonderful exhibits on the life of Winston Churchill, covering the various chapters in his life. The museum takes us through his life from his childhood to his military days, and then his service as a politician, leading up to his role in World War II. They even talk about his personal life, including letters he and his wife exchanged. Here's his iconic cigar. He smoked 8 a day, but never inhaled. The exhibit includes Churchill's hobby for painting. Oh, and his signature hats. I hope you enjoyed this trip to London from a deeper perspective. Thanks for joining me on Mary Goes Round the World.